Alright, what's good, y'all? My name's Alex Snow, and today I will be explaining and showing with a diagram on how, to raise your dopamine levels, explaining dopamine, and, just so you can have a good understanding. So you might hear a lot of self-improvement or whatever type of videos that you watch explaining how dopamine works. They're going to say if you have high dopamine levels, you're going to be energetic, and if you have low dopamine levels, that's going to lead to depression. And that's correct. Dopamine is basically a representation of energy. If you are doing certain activities, consuming entertainment, or just things that aren't raising your energy, which is dopamine in this case, you're going to stay down there. So dopamine in this case, for the sake of oversimplifying this so that you guys can easily understand what I'm trying to explain, is that dopamine is energy. Alright, so what I have here on the bottom, don't mind the top, okay? The top, this is my whiteboard that I use for jotting just notes and drawing or whatever. So, if you guys want to take a look at it, do that. But anyways, this line right here, as you can see, it says baseline. It's the baseline level. So that is our energy. That is, imagine you wake up, you haven't eaten food, you haven't done anything. Just right when you wake up, your energy level, that's what it is. How dopamine works is, let's say, all right, I know this is a very random example, but let's say you want to, whether you're a guy or you're a girl, you want to go talk to your crush, okay? So, with dopamine, you're at your baseline, right? And then, out of nowhere, that thought, the craving, the anticipation for going to talk to your crush, it hits you. Just you imagining it, Just imagine when you want to do something and it just excites you, right? So dopamine, excitement, everything, anticipation, it rises up from the baseline. But quickly, right after a couple seconds, it goes down. And you're like, wait, how is that possible? Why is it possible? Why is it that it does that? Well, when your dopamine levels go below the baseline, that is where you get the motivation or the kick, which I put in brackets. Basically what it's saying is to get off your ass, or to go and get whatever you want, whatever you seek, whatever you anticipate, whatever you crave for. So let's say the girl, for me, I'm straight. If you're gay or if you're whatever, just put it into your own, perspective. But let's say we're talking about going to get a person's number. So for me, in this case, it's a girl. So I want to go get a girl's number. So the anticipation hits me, right? I'm so excited. And then my dopamine levels go below and I'm like, okay, now I gotta do it. I have to do it. Because think about it. Let's say we're at a cafe shop and I crave for it. I want to go talk to this girl. And let's say I do not do it. Let's say I don't, If I do not pursue and go get what I want, and even if I get rejected, let's just say if I do not do what my mind desires, what it wants, my dopamine level is never going to rise back. The way to get back to the normal dopamine levels, or to even raise it, is to get the reward. Some of you might be asking, then how come I do certain things and even if I get the reward, I feel drained after? Well, it's because the reward itself might not be worth the energy. Remember, this is energy. You give your energy into something, into imagining something, into craving, anticipating something, and it goes down. But if the reward does not bring the levels back to the baseline or back to, or raise it, you are never going to get satisfaction. Where's my white? Where's my marker? We're going to say that the reward equals satisfaction. So, if the reward does not bring me back to the baseline or above, that means it did not reach my satisfaction levels, where I feel satisfied. Let me give an example of something that lowers your energy, and this probably won't be, how would you say it? I don't know if you could even say the word, but it rhymes with corn, and it starts with P. So we're going to say corn, but with a P. So a corn addiction, okay? So if you are, you're anticipating lust, sex, right? The crave, the anticipation. And let me remind you that this addiction, it's not good whatsoever. And I'll explain more, and I'm not advocating for it whatsoever. But you are craving for it, right? You're like, oh, now I'm going to go beat my thing. Or if you're a girl, I'm going to go do this, I'm excited, your energy gets up, the crave, the anticipation. So then, the motivation, the get off your butt, the go do it. So you start to go do it, right? And your dopamine levels are down here. And you're thinking, oh, so when you release, I guess that's the reward. Correct. But the thing about corn, the thing about this addiction is that the reward is not worth it whatsoever. First of all, you are releasing your energy. You are getting the reward off of something that's not real. Imagine you want to buy your hypebeast, okay? And you want to buy a pair of Yeezys. Let's say Yeezys. I'm not a shoe guy, so I don't really know what's popping right now. But I know in the last couple of years, Yeezys were a big thing. So the crave, the anticipation. You're buying these Yeezys off of someone from online. Let's say Facebook Market or something, okay? I don't know, or StockX, or somewhere where you do not know if it's completely legit. So the crave, the anticipation. You're like, oh, I want to buy these, right? And you're excited for it. The motivation. So you text the person and you're finally going to purchase the pair of shoes, right? The reward. You get the shoes, but then they're fakes. So how do you think that's going to make you feel? The reward. Finally getting what you craved and what you anticipated. It's going to bring this down here, and now your baseline is here. So you might be asking, how do you raise your dopamine levels then? You have to do things that are more beneficial than, that aren't going to put you in a deficit, that aren't going to make you feel like you've wasted time, right? This is all a psychological thing, energy. So let's say going to the gym. We start off here, let's say you're a scrawny person, you want to get big, right? So remember, getting results, you're at the gym, it takes time, but let's imagine this over a certain period of time. You're consuming David Goggins or someone that's motivating you to get off your ass, right? So the crave, the anticipation, the need, the want for it, your excitement, the excitement is there, right? You're like, oh, if I stay committed or if I go to the gym, I'm going to get amazing results. I'm going to feel good, right? So the crave, anticipation there, blah, blah, blah. But then it slowly drops and reality hits and you're like, I got to get off my ass. I actually have to go to work. So let's say you're down here. The dopamine levels are down here and you put in the work. And let's say after a week, you see results and now the reward is here. And with getting constant, if you work hard enough and you get rewards that keep on getting you above the base level, what do you think is going to happen? The base level is going to rise, and now this is the baseline. I want you, with this information that you've just consumed, to take a look at your life. Take a look at all the, things that you do on the daily basis, the foods you consume, the entertainment you watch, the actions, everything that you consider productive or whatever, just anything that you do on the day-to-day basis. I want you to eliminate or to just observe for now and look at the things that do not get you a reward that is above the baseline. Because everything else that is down here in the deficit of where the baseline is supposed to be, is just making your mood worse, is bringing your dopamine, your energy levels lower. And energy, if you have high energy, we're just going to put E and low E. So those basically represent high energy and low energy. So if you have high energy, that equals happy, right? But if you have low energy, what does that equal? Sadness. So if your dopamine levels are constantly, if you're constantly doing things where, you get spikes of dopamine hits, just like taking drugs or watching things, bad things or whatever, or eating bad foods, and you don't get the reward above at least the bare minimum at the baseline or above, then you're always going to feel sad. You're always going to feel depressed. You're always going to feel moody, right? And you're not going to feel comfortable or satisfied with life. Remember, the reward equals satisfaction. So if your satisfaction is below from where you want it to be, from where it should be, like the baseline, then, there you go. That being said and done, I hope you guys got a good understanding of how dopamine levels and energy and how that all works. And I can't personally look at each one of your lives individually and critique everything. And I'm not going to do that, nor do I want to do that. I have enough things on my plate where I have to look at and just think and change, where I just know that, it's not worth the energy, the dopamine, those things. It's not worth the reward is not worth the risk. So if you guys are doing bad habits and you want to change, I hope this diagram, this explanation gave you an easier understanding on how to make that change and how to eliminate those bad things, those bad habits. With that being said and done, my name's Alex Snow. Welcome to television. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys next time. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.